You know, as guys get older, they get better with the media, and Joe Flacco's really, really good with the media, talking about all kinds of things, football, life, whatever he's talking about. Here's Joe Flacco. If he plays this weekend, I still think the Colts got a shot at winning this game. I thought Flacco played really well in Jacksonville and wasn't directly the reason that the Colts lost. And if he's going to play this Sunday, I don't think he's going to be the reason that the Colts lose. He's still a better quarterback than Levis, position compared to position. He's better than Will Levis. Anthony Richardson is substantially better than Will Levis.
Right now, too?
Yeah, I mean, this week may be a little bit different than last week. We'll see what, how he feels, when we go out there today. But ultimately, it's the same mindset.
What'd you take away from that film? I mean, obviously, you lost the game, but what were the things that you saw that you can build upon, whether you're the quarterback or Anthony?
I think there's just some little things that if we clean up, maybe we don't hit a little lull here and there, and we can keep the chains moving a little bit more. It's just those little details of, going to the right guy, maybe a little something in a route. I think that's always what it is. You always go back to the film, and there's probably, 5 to 10 things that you could look at and kind of question whether they might make a difference or not. But I think even when you win the game, that's the trouble when you look at the film. Even when you win games, there's plays like that where if you didn't win, you'd be questioning if they were the difference maker. So you just got to be ready to go at all times. And I think we did a good job, fighting through everything and being ready and giving ourselves the best chance.
What do you think of Josh Downs' performance, and what has been your impression of him?
Josh is great, man. Obviously, we've relied on him the last couple weeks in the slot to kind of get open and do his thing, and he's done a really good job.
Shane talked about just the sense of urgency, just finishing games. You've been around this league for a long time. Will that be a focus this week of just be in a position, take care of business, and get it done?
I think sometimes when you haven't played a ton of games, you don't really get the fact that the NFL comes down to the last couple minutes every single game you're in, it seems like. And I think when you've been around a long time, you realize, you can't let your guard down and relax at any point, because the game will be a full 60 minutes no matter what you're thinking in the first quarter. And the season goes the same way. You can't all of a sudden, start to have a negative attitude 5 weeks into the season, because it's still a 17-game season, and you don't know how it's all going to shake out. And if you want to give yourself the best chance of being successful in the game, in the season, you got to keep your head down and keep grinding, and don't look up until it's all over, because those things can affect you if you pay too much attention to them, and usually in a negative way.
Joe, you've been speaking to the media obviously for 20 years, but do you prepare something like this moment here where we're asking you about Richardson? Is he going to play, and where's he going to play? You have to prepare yourself to make sure you don't spill the beans.
I don't think there's any beans to spill, which makes it easy. But I don't know. These guys, Matt, everybody does a good job of making sure you don't do that. I've never been a guy that's probably, hey, prepare me on 20 different things. That would probably, if that was the case and I was thinking about it too much, then I would definitely mess up, and who knows what I would say. I try to answer as honestly as I can. I mean, I know honesty in this atmosphere is probably somewhat of a questionable thing. Like, you obviously can't be 100% truthful, because then you'd be beating yourself up. You'd probably be throwing people under the bus left and right. Who knows what you'd be doing if you were 100% truthful. But, I'm sure I did things when I was younger that I don't do now, and maybe they made sense, maybe they didn't. Who knows? I think you kind of learn your way, and you try to be as honest as you can. And like I said, even when you have to skirt around it, as long as you're just straightforward and you try to do a good job answering the question, I think that's kind of my strategy in doing these things.
Joe, a couple months ago, like Pierce, a deep guy. It takes a special talent, and things to go together. He wants to be more, but he's a deep guy right now.
Yeah. I kind of have a thought that maybe listen, he's. What do you mean? Like he's. Oh man, like he's a deep threat because he's a really good athlete. He's big. He can run. All the things that you want. Like at the same time, I guess you're kind of asking it, like, why is that all he's been, or maybe is that all? I actually think he's really good. I think he can do those other little things. I just think we have other guys that are in those roles to a certain extent. So I think I said it after the game. I felt bad for not getting them into. As a quarterback, it's not like I'm out there thinking about like, oh, where's Pierce? I'm just going through my reads and getting the balls to the guys that hopefully where it's supposed to go. But he's interested in getting the ball and being a part of this team and really making a difference. So when guys aren't a big part of it, you do kind of feel that a little bit as a quarterback. And believe me, it's not because he doesn't have talent and isn't a really good player. So the fact that that's the other side of him. The fact that I think that I've seen the last couple of weeks, just mentally, the fact that he's able to stay in it, even though he had 0 catches through the first 3.5 quarters, basically. And then all of a sudden he gets his number called like 3 times in a row and he just hits big time each one of them. That says a lot about his leaders.
Joe, to have a couple backups on the offensive line in the 2 games you played, to not have to think about, hey, is Tanner going to hold his guy? Is Dalton going to hold his guy? How does that help you as a quarterback?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, those guys, listen, the game starts with those guys. The offensive side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball, it starts with the guys up front. And to be able to have such a room that's able to kind of step in and just go in and play, not even blink. A couple rookies in the case the last couple of weeks, it's impressive. And I'm not just to go back to being truthful to the media. I'm being 100% truthful. This game starts with the offensive and defensive line. I don't care that we're in 2024, not 1970 anymore. It still starts and ends with those guys. So when you have a good group and a deep group, it makes a big difference.
Joe, what do the kids think of the 21-yard run?
You know what? I don't think they said much about that. They had some other critiques. They did. They actually got on me. They told me I was selling. So who knows?
That's Joe Flacco. I thought he looked good last week, and I appreciate his comments about, talking to the media. We understand, and you understand as fans, because all we are really are ambassadors of yours. That's what we do. We come out and try to ask the questions that you would ask, and get the insight that you crave when you watch your football team. You get to know these guys a little bit. And so talking to Flacco about how he perceives his role with the media and his need to be honest, but at the same time be tempered in that honesty, not be completely transparent, but maybe be translucent, I thought it was really interesting.